It's funny. Most of us use this technology every single day, but we never actually see it happen. It's this invisible connection that just works in a split second. So today, let's pull back the curtain and take a look at the magic behind a simple tap.
I mean, it's practically muscle memory at this point, isn't it? You're in line for coffee, you hold your phone up to the little terminal, you hear that satisfying little beep, and boom, you're done. But have you ever stopped to think about what is that? I mean, it's not Wi-Fi, it's not Bluetooth, so what's really going on in that tiny, tiny space between your phone and the reader?
Well, that super fast, totally silent conversation is called near-field communication, or, as we all know it, NFC. And that first word, near, that is the absolute key. It's the key to understanding everything that makes this technology so unique and, honestly, so useful.
Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to look at how this whole thing actually works, and really, what makes it so different from all the other wireless signals flying around us every day.
The best way to think about it is that NFC is part of a big wireless family. You've got its really famous cousins, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. They're the long-distance talkers of the family. But NFC is the specialist. It's got a very particular set of skills, and they're all designed for one thing and one thing only: close quarters communication.
All right, let's actually put them head to head. Because when you really compare NFC with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, it becomes crystal clear why it's the perfect tool for something as important as, say, your money. So look at Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. They are built to cover a whole room, right? They blast out radio signals far and wide. NFC, on the other hand, does the exact opposite. It creates this tiny little electromagnetic bubble that only works over a few centimeters. And that incredibly short range? That's not a weakness, it's its greatest strength. In fact, that's the whole secret to its security.
So how does the conversation actually happen in that tiny little bubble? Well, the best way to picture it is like a dance. A dance with two partners. You've got an active one that leads and a passive one that follows.
So first, meet the leader of the dance. That's the active device. And for pretty much all of us, that's our smartphone. It's got its own power, its own battery, and it's the one that starts the whole conversation, sending and receiving data.
And its partner? That's the passive device. This could be the payment terminal or maybe one of those smart tags you see on a poster. The key thing here is it has no power source of its own. It's basically just a little digital signpost, sitting there quietly holding onto its information, just waiting for something to come along and read it.
Okay, and here's how that whole dance happens, and it's over in a flash. As your phone gets close to the terminal, it sends out that small electromagnetic field. Now, this is the really cool part. That field actually powers on the passive tag for just a moment. The tag literally wakes up, uses that borrowed energy to send its information back to the phone, and then it's done. It's this incredibly clever and super efficient little handshake.
Okay, hold on a second. If sharing data is that simple, doesn't that also mean it's simple for someone to, steal it? That's a totally fair question, and probably the most important one. So let's talk security. The good news, and it is really good news, is that NFC was designed from the very beginning with safety in mind. So here's a quick little checklist to make sure you can tap with total confidence.
Okay, number one. Your payment info is never sent out in the open. It's encrypted, which is just a fancy way of saying it's scrambled into a code that's completely unreadable while it's traveling. Number two, your phone itself is locked, right? So even if a thief got a hold of your phone, they can't just go on a shopping spree. They'd need your fingerprint or your passcode. And finally, number three, just basic phone security. Using good software helps protect you from all sorts of other threats. So when you put it all together, you can see the security is built in layers. A bad guy would have to be literally, and I mean literally, right next to you, practically touching your phone just to even try and grab that signal. And even if they somehow manage that, the data is scrambled and the phone is locked. That combination of things is what makes this an incredibly secure way to handle your business.
So think about it. We started this whole conversation with just a simple tap for a coffee. But this technology is already turning our phones into our wallets, our bus passes, our hotel keys, heck, even our car keys. It's slowly but surely replacing every single physical card we carry around. So the real question is, what's next? What part of your everyday life do you think is going to be the next thing transformed by that simple, magic little tap?